It's time to hit the road and discover Texas with Annie Studebaker. Get ready to travel deep into the heart of the Lone Star State, meeting friendly folks and exploring fascinating places. Experience a way of life like nowhere else in the world as we uncover the rich history and culture of Texas. Discover adventure, discover excitement, discover Texas with Annie Studebaker.
Dove hunting is a big part of South Texas, and dove hunting season had finally arrived. Charles and Nancy Hundley from High Lonesome Ranch invited me over to test my marksmanship, so I joined them. I was glad to hear that practicing such skill would start at their skeet range, where flying skeet simulates the moving target. Soon after that, we went out in the field, and that's when the dove hunting began. All right, we're here with Charles Hundley, and he's going to teach me how to skeet shoot. And this is all in preparation for dove hunting. So tell me what we're going to do, what we have here, and everything.
Well, first of all, you need to have a really good range, skeet shooting range. And they're very, very difficult because you have to have a real good background, which means you have to be up on a hill so that mainly the sky is your background. So that's what you want. So you could look all over this ranch, you won't find a better spot for a skeet field than right here. Now what I did was I was very athletic, played football and all that, and then when you're out of school, there's not as many things as you can do, golf or whatever. Well, I was a skeet shooter.
Wow.
And I shot competitively for about 5 or 6 years. But at any rate, the way it works is you have 9 stations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 2 in the middle, 8, 9. And you shoot at each station. The first 2 stations, you shoot singles and doubles. What I mean by doubles is, a single would be you shoot the high house first, then you shoot the low house. And then when you shoot doubles, they both go off at the same time, and you gotta hit them both. But that's just the way they do it.
It sounds hard, Charles. I want to see you do it first.
No, I'm just
You're just a pro.
I'm just an inspector.
Whatever. You got to do this. You got to show me.
But anyway, one of the major problems we have today is the wind's really blowing, so it's going to be a lot harder to hit them. So,
actually, that's kind of good. That'll be my excuse.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've already used your excuse, so you got to think of another one. So the first thing we need to do is go over here and see about our gun and ammunition.
Okay, let's do that.
Open it up.
Check that out.
And then you need to put it together. Now this is a Winchester 28 gauge, over and under. And it's a real pretty gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot, and it doesn't have near as much recoil as a 12 or a 20.
Okay.
So,
okay.
now, whenever you got a gun in your hand, you have to think about safety.
Okay.
So when you walk around before you shoot, you always leave it broken open, so it can't fire and then people can see it's unloaded. So that's the way you handle the shotgun.
Okay.
Now, let's put this back down here and get some shells. These are 28 gauge number 9. Number 9 is the best load for skeet shooting.
Okay.
It's a little light for doves. You want a 7.5 or an 8 for doves and quail.
So the higher the number?
The higher the number, the smaller the BB.
Okay. So you're going to dump some in here. Well,
you have 2 pockets.
Oh.
That's for your live shells, and then your hulls you put in back there.
Oh, great. Okay.
Now, when we're shooting, you should have earmuffs on.
Okay.
To guard against damaging your ears.
Okay.
Sabe rojo? There you go.
Sabe. Rojo's good for me. There we go. Did you say anything? No.
Now, let's walk over here and take a look just to kind of get a feel for what we're going to be doing. This is what they call station number 3. And you don't ever load your gun until you're on the station. And you don't leave the station until it's unloaded.
Okay.
So when you get in here and you want your belly button to face where you're going to break the bird. It's better to break the bird right in here. If you try to shoot it here, it's coming out too fast. You probably have a hard time hitting it. So you don't want to ride it too long, because when you start shooting doubles, that'll make you lose the second one. So they're both going at the same time. So anyway, let's take a look at the birds. I'm gonna do a high house here. Now, what you do if you're shooting competitively, you get all ready, but you turn your eyes up to look at that opening up there, because the sooner you pick the bird up with your eyes, the better chance you got of hitting it. Most people just stand there and wait till it gets that, oh, there it goes, and try to shoot it. You can't do that.
Okay.
Anyway, here's a high house.
Okay.
That's going like a quail. Now we're going to do a low house. Now we're going to do doubles. Here's the other thing you do. You direct the guy that's holding the instrument when to let it go. And you do that by saying pull. And if you have a bad operator, he'll slow pull you. You'll say pull and he'll wait and then to do it. Or he'll fast pull you, pull it before you say. So you want to make sure you got a good operator that will operate the buttons when you say. If you're shooting competitively, you get to look at a bird.
Okay.
They'll let you look at one.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll say pull, and then you pull it and I'll look at it.
And I'm gonna.
And what you're doing with this bird is you be facing out here, because that's where you're going to break it, but you turn your eyes up here. The sooner you pick that bird up, the better chance you got of hitting it.
I just click.
I'm not going to shoot, but I'm going to call for it and just take a look at it. Pull. You slow pulled me.
What does that mean? What did I do wrong?
You didn't pull it when I said pull. You let a fraction of a second go before you pulled it.
A fraction of a second I messed up. Let's do it again.
We're going to need to look at it again because it's going further that way.
So when
Let's look at one more.
Okay.
Pull. Okay. Pull. Now do the low house.
Did y'all get that? Seriously, did you get that, Skeet? We're doing low.
Pull. Now let me coach you a little bit while you're here.
Here I go.
Okay, put your gun up and keep your eyes up here and try to catch that bird, and then put it right on top of that. You keep both eyes open and keep both eyes on the bird. You see this out of the periphery of your eyes.
Both eyes open. I'm getting tired. Okay, I'm fixing to say pull.
Just say pull. Wait a minute. Let's see.
It's unlocked.
Yeah, that's right. Listo. Well,
Pull.
put your gun up a little bit.
Oh, dang, Charles.
Right up there.
Pull.
But what it was, you shot to the left of it. Now, you still got a shell in there, so be careful.
Right.
All right, we're going to do the low house now.
That's low. Is that too low?
You'll pull when you're ready.
Now. I'm not
You
even
shot a little
aiming.
quick. You could have waited because that bird was coming towards you. Let's try the high house again.
High house.
That's perfect.
Pull.
Hey! Did y'all see that? Hey, did you see that? I'm quitting right now.
I did it! Pull.
Good shot! Wow! You did good. You got it.
Woo!
You're gonna put it in your bag?
Let's do some more.
You're gonna put them in your bag?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Skeet shooting is not as easy as it seems. Shooting a moving target with a shotgun definitely requires a lot of practice. I finally got good enough to hit some of my targets. I just wondered how Skeet would actually compare to a flying dove. When we return, Charles goes over safety instructions, and then we're off to the field for my very first hunting experience. I thought it was a bird or something.
Ooh, I am in trouble now.
Why?
If you think that was a bird, I'm in trouble.
Charles is very good when it comes to safety, so the first thing he did was give me a quick lesson.
First thing you do when you pick a gun up, see if it's loaded. This one happens to be loaded. Well, that's a good thing because we're at the spot where we're hunting. So you want it to be loaded. But you still always look because that's the habit. Good habit. So anyway, it's not ready to shoot until you close it. It's still not ready to shoot because you have to take it off safety. Take it off safety and you're ready. Put it back on safety. Those mojos simulate birds that are lighting or taking off with their wings flapping. And believe it or not, some of the time it works. The birds will come in. So we're using those to kind of help the birds come to our area.
Okay.
So what you do is you stand ready. And remember, if you see a dove and he's coming, you take it off safety so you're ready. And then if he was too far away, you put it back on.
Soon after that, we headed out in search of dove.
Annie, right at you.
I will never forget my first shot. Everything happened so fast. I was excited and a bit nervous, but once I pressed that trigger, what a rush. I was very glad to have Charles next to me. He is great at dove hunting. He never missed a shot. That's not something I could say for myself. Tell me, when is the best time to hunt?
Well, I think October is the best time to hunt down here. Although, you know, the hunting has been good all the way up till last weekend. The problem with dove hunting is that the doves are migratory. So they're moving all the way south. And they stop at the places that have the water and the feed. Well, we've got 40 tanks and we've got both teaweed and croton, the stuff that they really like. And, but I said if somebody make me pick a time, it'd be October.
Okay, and
Usually what happens is those northern, what we call the northern birds move in.
Okay.
And then they've been flying for maybe a couple of days, and so they got a rest, so they stop where there's feed and water. There goes a Tweety bird.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Tweety bird, yeah. Hard to tell.
So I would say if you had to pick one ahead of time, it'd be October.
Okay, and how about morning? You can't do it when it's hot, or is
well, you could see yesterday, it was very sparse here, and I knew that the birds would be coming into water, so we moved up where the water was, and the hunting got real good.
Yes, it did, and let's see.
And then the other thing is, once they get through water, and then they're going to go to roost. And so real late, going to roost is the best. So you get in the field, then go to water, then you go to the place close to where they roost.
Okay, you shoot a bird, and some people leave a wing to identify the bird in case a game warden wants to see it.
That's right, because there's a difference between a mourning dove and a white wing. For example, an early white wing season, you can shoot just 2 mourning doves, and the rest of them have to be white wing. Right now the limit's 15, so you can shoot 2 mourning doves, and then you could shoot 13 white wings for your limit. Although you could shoot all white wings, it wouldn't matter, but you were just entitled to 2 mourning doves in the early white wing shoot. but you can shoot as many ringnecks.
Okay,
You
okay.
can theoretically shoot 100 of them. Doesn't
So
matter.
now, because it is dove season, we don't have to leave a wing to identify it in case a game warden showed up, right?
Well, you can shoot a whole limit of either one.
Okay.
Mourning doves or white
Right,
wings.
so it doesn't matter.
But the ringneck, you need to leave some kind of identification on those, and leave the head on with the ring around the neck.
Wow.
But if you really know a lot about birds, and the game warden should know, they can look at the body and tell the ringneck from a mourning dove. The ringneck's a bigger
Okay.
dove.
Okay, I have another question. I found out that there's different types of shot? Is that what they're called? There's lead, and then there's steel.
Well,
What do you prefer, and
we
why?
use mostly the lead shot down here. And then there's a different weights. You know, you can either get an 8 or a 7.5 or a 6. And it has to do with the size of the BB.
Oh, and what size are we
And
shooting?
the 7.5 is the most popular. And then you get into, well, how big is the load? Well, you can read on the label that it's either 7/8 or 1 ounce or 1 ounce and 1/8. Of course, 1 ounce and 1/8 is more shot.
Oh.
And so a 7.5 with 1 ounce and 1/8 would probably be your best choice. Really, if you're real serious about dove hunting, you need to, when you buy a gun, you need to get fitted and get them to get the right fit for you.
Okay.
And that has to do with how long the stock is.
And who
mainly.
does that? A gunsmith?
Gunsmith.
Yeah, okay.
It's a fun shoot, and as opposed to deer hunting where you have to be real quiet and you can't talk, you know, and that sort of thing, dove hunting is more fun because you can visit with the people that you're hunting with. And you know, it's not hard, but what people don't realize is that have just started out is that they're aiming a shotgun. Well, you don't do that. You don't. Your primary focus is not down the barrel. The primary focus is on the bird, and the barrel will be in your peripheral vision. And then if you shoot enough and see the birds fall or not fall, your mind will start gathering information about what kind of a lead you need to take and that sort of thing. And so it's not something that you can teach. It's just something that comes through practice.
Definitely.
And it really depends on how far away they are and how fast they're flying. But your mind has seen enough of those to adjust it for you. And then your mind will tell you when to pull the trigger. It's not like I'm consciously doing it. It's just through tons of shots that my mind has a computer back there that makes you take the right lead. But you know, hunting is hunting. You never know for sure what's going to happen. Well, the birds will be there or not. And they were here every weekend up through last weekend. And then they were real good yesterday evening. And I think with this norther, some of them just moved out.
We continued dove hunting for a while. I had a blast. Well, there are a lot of things that need to be in place before you come over here. First of all, you got to have the right gear. When I first started, the shotgun that I had a long stock, so it was really hard for me to aim and put it up here. Now I borrowed this one. It has a shorter stock, and it fits better. So I'm just waiting for those birds right now. But it feels even lighter, so I like that. There are several hunters out here, dove hunters right now, and we're kind of spread out, so that kind of helps because one shoots over there and the birds come this way. So that's working as a team, so I like that. If I could just hit one, that'd be different. I will. We knew we had enough dove for a delicious meal, but soon after we had to clean the dove. This is part of the hunt. I'd made sure that I followed directions, and we were done cleaning them in no time at all. After the break, Nancy Hundley will cook up a delicious meal with dove. Well, the fun is not over. We're back here at Lonesome Ranch, and we've been dove hunting, and now we get to prepare. Nancy's going to show us how to prepare this delicious dove. Tell me what you're going to do, Nancy.
Well, first we're going to do some dove wraps. I know a lot of people fix dove wraps, and they are wonderful. But since you've never had any, I'm going to show you how to do it.
Oh, wow.
These are some of the doves that you killed the other day. And we've been marinating them in Italian dressing, just plain right out of a bottle, the Italian dressing. And for about 3 or 4 hours, or you can actually do them overnight.
Can we use our own marinade? Or
any kind of marinade you like. We particularly like the Italian because it's spicy.
And it has a lot of
taste. It has
taste.
a lot of taste to it.
Definitely. Okay,
and,
good.
It also sort of tenderizes them a little bit, you know, the Italian does. So that's what we're going to do today, is start out with the doves.
That's
and then
what
later on, we may also wrap some other things. I'll show you later.
Wonderful. That's what I was wondering. How are you going to keep it from getting tough? Now we'll see.
Well, that's a good way to do it. And we usually do them overnight because usually we fix them in the evening and then the next day we cook them.
Nice.
But first we have to start with the bacon. This particular cut is the thick cut.
Okay.
And I think that the bacon actually is long enough that you can stretch it a little bit so it'll go around, so you don't have so much bacon, and then you lose the flavor of the dove. Then you take the dove.
Oh, I see. You have the skin on it.
Yeah, we left the skin on it. You can take it off or you can leave it on, but the skin actually gives it a little flavor, has a little fat in it, so it gives it a little bit more moisture, so it doesn't. And you'll notice that it's just the breast. We've breasted them out because there's really no meat on the legs or on the wings, so we take those off.
I guess if you're really hungry, you could eat the whole bird.
And you know, Charles always likes to leave the heart in there. He loves the heart.
I do too.
If he has the time, he will sometimes clean the gizzards and the hearts, and then we'll fry them for breakfast. But today he's left. You all have. I think that's what he showed you. He left the heart inside of the breast. And then we take a piece of jalapeno, and this is a fresh jalapeno, but you can use the canned ones that are, or the pickled ones. They're really good that way too.
Wow.
Then all you do is take a piece of bacon, wrap it up.
And you get a toothpick.
And you get a toothpick.
Nice.
And run it through the breast like that to hold the bacon on, and there you got it.
So tell me, these jalapenos aren't real hot?
Well, I hope they're the mild ones. I was looking for the mild ones. And but another thing you can do if you don't like them really hot, the cheese. This right here is a pepper jack cheese.
Okay.
So it's the white cheese and it has the peppers in it.
Oh, I love that cheese.
So if you don't want it too hot, and the cheese adds another little texture.
Oh, so you can just do it without the...
Without the pepper.
Oh, okay,
and
interesting.
Just see, this has the cheese and the pepper in it. So you've got it all.
You know what? That looks delicious. Can't wait to try this.
Sometimes the bacon gets a little slick here.
Some of these veins are left on the jalapeno. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. It's usually the seeds, isn't it, that
are
so hot?
I don't know. I had heard the veins too, but
well, that may be. That may be. Sometimes they can really be hot. So we'll make some with cheese and some with just jalapenos.
Okay.
And then you can taste and see what you like.
I think I'm going to stop right there.
Oh yeah, that's
I think we have plenty
for right now. Some people prefer to have a lot more bacon. They'll use a whole strip of bacon. But to me, that kind of, you sort of lose
it overpowers, right?
It overpowers the taste of the dove.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, this is our last one, Nancy.
Oh, good.
Okay, what she's taught us here is we've got the dove breast. They've left the little heart inside for flavor. We have put jalapeno, raw jalapeno. You can use pickled, she said. And we put pepper jack cheese on some and wrapped it in bacon. But remember, it's been marinating with Italian dressing.
Yes. Lots of great flavor.
it goes to the grill. Okay, Nancy, you're about to show us something with elk meat. Tell me about it.
Okay, this is elk meat from New Mexico. My husband went hunting up there and got an elk, and of course they're very, very large animals, and we have a lot of meat. This happens to be the fillet, or the back strap, and it's a little frozen on the inside. We started thawing it out, but we want to cut it before it's completely thawed because it's much, much easier to do that.
It's better to slice it that way, yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to fix them virtually the same way we did the dove. And so I'm putting it in the marinade right now, and we'll marinate it for a little bit. But we cut the elk in thin slices and put it in the marinade and let it set for maybe an hour or so, and then we'll wrap them just like we did
just
the
like
doves.
the doves.
So you can do that with venison.
Let me help
which
you.
we have a lot here, you know, a lot of venison here.
All right, let me reach over here and start helping you. Let's see if this knife will do the trick.
If not,
okay, not very thin, but not very thick.
right.
Okay.
This makes a great meal, and you just throw it on the grill when you do the dove.
Nice. Okay, and we're using the same marinade, so I should put a little bit more in here,
Yes.
right? Okay. I'm going to stir it up over here. As you can see, it's going to marinate. For how long do you marinate it?
Well, actually, again, you can marinate it overnight if you like, but a couple of hours is good, and it also makes it tender. But this actually by itself is very tender.
Oh, I know.
It is wonderful meat, wonderful meat.
You've given me elk before. It's delicious, girl. Love it.
You can hardly tell the difference between this and beef.
Can't.
And the thing about elk is that it's organic. It has no antibiotics or no hormones or anything added to it.
Nice,
Comes
nice.
straight out of the wild, where they've had wonderful things to eat there, and so it's wonderful meat.
Yes.
And up there, the foliage that they eat is so good, and it's a lot of that has depends on how your meat tastes as to what they've been eating.
All natural eating
All
here.
natural, but also good flavored.
Delicious.
So what we do is we just cut it. It's like I say, right in the center. It's still
A little frozen, yeah, but it's doing
easier
it.
to cut that way.
Yes, it is. It stays whole.
So then, when you marinate it for a couple of hours,
Wow, lovely.
Then-
Look at this.
and the nice thing about it is it doesn't have any
Nice.
fat in it.
That's wonderful.
The fat and flavor, I guess, you get from the bacon,
Nice.
but the meat itself is very, very good.
So we're gonna wait a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and wrap them. Okay, we'll do.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do you keep them in the refrigerator
Yes,
for a little? Okay,
yes,
let's
put
put
'em
this
in
in
the
the refrigerator.
But you know, sometimes I like to do this, especially for meat, to take the meat tenderizer. So you tenderize it, and not only that, but you are actually forcing the marinade down into the meat.
Oh, this is great.
And it does kind of spread it out a little bit because you're going to roll it. You don't want it to be too thick.
Well, that's good.
Just a little bit. It doesn't
Just a
have
little
to
bit, yeah.
be much. There, let's try these first.
Okay, let's wrap these up.
Okay, let's take a couple pieces of bacon
Okay.
and our pepper.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
do what you're
again,
doing.
we can do the same thing we did with the doves. Just put some with pepper in it
And some without.
cheese with
okay.
pepper.
You want me to slice the bacon? Oh
Sure.
no! Wait a minute. When do you put the bacon?
You're going to put the bacon on after you put the pepper.
Okay, we're
in.
gonna slice it, right? We're
Yeah.
using half of it.
See, this
Let me
one's
use
a
this
small
knife.
one.
Oh yeah, this knife's good. This is a good knife right there. Okay, so here's bacon for you.
Well, now wait a minute. We've got to cut this one in half.
There it is. Okay, so
So just roll it up like we did the other. The bacon.
okay. Ooh, smells good too. Perfect. Got that jalapeno in place. Yummy. I need a big one.
Well, they'll eat well tonight.
Oh, how nice.
And again, this is a simple little wrap, just like we did the doves, just a pepper inside. But the nice thing is we marinated it in that really, really tasty Italian dressing, which gives it a good flavor. You don't have to salt and pepper it or anything like that.
Right. Okay, and we're gonna do some cheese ones as well, right?
Yes, we want to do the cheese ones. See, these are a little bit smaller because we flattened them, and that makes it nice so they'll cook.
Let me try that.
All the way through.
There you go.
Let's see, let's do some cheese.
Okay. Your knives over there.
For a side dish, I'll use some wild rice, or a mixture of wild rice and brown rice, and then then some green beans or some vegetable, fresh vegetable. Oh, with your garden.
I brought some zucchini and some yellow squash from my garden, and we're going to make shish kebab out of that.
Oh, that'll be great.
So.
And you know, you can get some cheese now that's got hotter peppers in it than just the little
Well, I don't like it
jalapenos.
that hot. I want to be able to taste the flavor here. But I don't think these jalapenos are very hot when they're raw and cooked like that. I don't know, I may be wrong, but we'll see.
Good deal. You're a pro already.
Better believe it, thanks to you. Well, thanks, girl. Okay, let's get these ready for the grill.
All righty.
Let's go. Okay, we're here with Nancy Hundley again, and she's going to show us another way to cook the dove breast. So tell us all about it, Nancy.
Well, this is one of my favorite dishes and my husband's favorite dish. It's going to be doves and dumplings. Same as if it were chicken and dumplings. You make it the same way, but I'm going to use my mother's recipe, and that's a very old recipe on making dumplings. But first we're going to cook the breast. Now for doves and dumplings, I do like to take the skin off.
Okay, let me help you with that.
So we'll take the skin off, and then when they come out of the pot, then there's just meat, no skin, because we're going to stew them. If you have a pressure cooker is great for cooking. I mean, it only takes about 5 minutes to cook them with a pressure cooker.
I bet.
But today we're going to just stew them in a regular pot.
Oh, that's great.
And they'll be the same. It'll take a little bit longer, but it takes about maybe 45 minutes to cook them.
Okay.
And then we'll take the meat off the bones and make the dumplings. They're really, really good. So what we're doing, we're just simply skinning the breast. These are breasts. It does have the bone in it, and it does have the heart in it. And leave the heart in it right now, and then when we take the meat off of the bone, we can take the heart out, because they're really, really good.
Yeah, that's good. We did the same with little breasts that we wrapped in bacon. We left that little heart in
there
for flavor. Interesting.
These are raw, so it's a little bit harder to get the skin off of it.
Right.
But I prefer to cook them without the skin. Skinless doves.
Okay, so now we put them over here.
A little fat on this one.
I didn't remove all the fat. Was I supposed to leave a
that's
little bit on
okay.
there for
Yeah,
flavor?
Flavor, right.
Okay.
Okay, what we do, we just put them in here. We're going to put some water in, sort of cover it with water.
Just enough to cover it?
Yeah, just enough to cover. Well, you can actually leave more, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep this water that it's cooked in,
broth,
and we're going to add some chicken bouillon to it later
for flavoring.
to put the
great.
dumplings in. Little pepper. I like to put it in my water because it cooks into the breast.
Oh yeah. Gives it
little
flavor.
salt. This is sea salt. I love the sea salt. And then we use bay leaves. Do you ever cook with bay leaves?
Hardly ever. I've
Love
made
'em.
homemade spaghetti sauce, and I've used that. That's the only
bay
time.
leaves give it a real good flavor. So
Oh,
that's
good.
all we do is put the lid on it, put it on the stove, and cook it for about 45 minutes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Now we've got it on high. We'll bring it to a boil and let it boil for a minute. Turn it down and let it stew for about 45 minutes to an hour. You can test it and see if it's done, if they're tender. And then take it off, let it cool for a while, and then we'll take the meat off the bone.
To make the dumplings, we begin by adding 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. Mix the dry ingredients and set aside. In a separate bowl, mix the wet ingredients, half a cup of milk and 1 egg. Combine the liquid and dry mixtures and mix well. Now it's time to roll the dough and start cutting it into dumpling size. The duff breasts were boiled using enough water to make broth for the dumplings to cook in. Remove the duff breasts and shred them into bite-sized pieces. Now it's time to add the dumplings to the boiling broth. Once they're almost cooked, add the duff breasts and voila! Here's the fun part now. We get to taste and eat everything you've showed us how to cook. Charles has grilled all this stuff. Isn't that great?
Looks
so
good.
let's get our plates going and let's get started.
Oh.
Yummy.
Ooh, that looks so
These are
good.
vegetable skewers marinated in Italian dressing. Okay, what I have here is a dove breast wrapped in bacon, the ones that Nancy showed us how to do. Oh boy, I tell you, and I need an elk one. You tell me.
Let's see.
I see it right there's elk.
There we
I
go.
have to try that.
Excuse my fingers.
Perfect. No, you're no problem. Now,
Let me see. Is this a dove? Yes, there's a little
okay,
dove.
great. So these are the dumplings. So let's start
The
there.
doves and dumplings.
The doves and dumplings. Let
Right.
me try that. Oh, this looks
And
great.
remember, these are the chewy kind that
The
we
chewy
like
dumpling.
instead of the fluffy ones.
Okay, everybody else wants to, but let me tell you, this is delicious. I love
It is
it.
good. Oh, and on a cold winter day, oh, that should be very
Awesome.
good.
Now, this one is elk,
Elk.
and this one is dove.
Right.
Here goes the dove. So we eat
Be
it with
sure
our
you-
hands, you said,
You eat
right?
it with your hands, but be sure you take the toothpicks out.
Okay, here we go. This one has 2. It's probably an Annie one. I made sure it would stay all together when we grilled it. Here we go.
This is an Annie one too. Whoops.
Oh my gosh, this is so soft.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be chewy.
No, and that's part of
This
the
is really
reason why
good.
you want to marinate them.
This, no kidding, this is delicious.
So good.
It is so good. Falling apart and good.
That's why you use your fingers.
This is why you use your fingers. Thank you. That's my excuse.
Right.
Now,
We use
it's
the
not.
pickled,
It's real good.
pickled jalapenos too, and that gives it a little different flavor.
This is really, really good, and I'm not just saying that. This is really good. The dove is very flavorful.
Well, and remember now we marinated it
Oh,
in
it's
Italian,
excellent.
and then we have the bacon on
I
it.
was
and
worried,
jalapeno.
yeah, but I was worried that it'd be a little tough. This is good. Okay,
The elk is great.
I'm gonna try the elk now. My turn. Here we go. This is a single. She did a good job. This is a Nancy. Nancy did this one. Here we go. Unbelievable.
Good.
I don't even know that I'm eating wild game. This is delicious.
You can hardly tell the difference between this
And
and
it's
beef.
super soft meat. This is like
It's a great dinner.
wild party. I love it. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Nancy.
you're welcome.
This concludes our show. They have done wonderful. We learned so much from the Hundleys, and we're just going to continue eating. Have a great time until next time.
Great evening.
Truly, this was a remarkable hunting experience. I would have liked to close this by saying that I didn't miss a shot, but it wouldn't be true. Practice makes perfect. Remember, to be a great hunter and sportsman, it takes more than just pulling the trigger. It involves using safety measures at all times, following the rules and regulations of the sport, and always making sure that what you hunt will not go to waste. Until next time.